And we are now recording. Excellent. And how about we say hello?
Hi.
Hi.
So this is over here,
Santino.
Wave. And
Daniel.
and
I'm Marie.
and I'm Mrs. Parisi. And who are you?
That's Priya, Jesus, and Alex. And Jacob's in this group, but he's in Disneyland today.
Oh, well, you know. It's hard to compete with Disneyland.
Yes.
Okay, so the first thing I want to know about hydropower, the first thing I want to know is, what is energy?
Energy.
Is the ability to do work.
Okay, so what does that actually mean? What does it look like?
If you didn't have energy, you wouldn't be able to move.
Okay, so when we see movement, it means
You have energy.
we have energy. So when we're talking water energy, what do we have to have in order to get any energy from the water? What does the water have to do?
Move.
It has to move. So can you think of water that doesn't move? Someone from Mr. Crosby's class. Water that doesn't move.
Water.
Oh, actually, that's a really good thing. In a water fountain, it doesn't move until you do what? So when you turn it on to drink out of it, now we have moving water. And what do we call that moving water?
Kinetic
Right, and what do we call the non-moving water?
potential.
So it's potential energy until we turn the spout, and then suddenly we get this little water fountain, and it becomes kinetic energy. Where else can you think of an example of potential water turning into kinetic? Potential energy, so water not moving, turning into water that moves.
Oh, water fountain?
She said a water fountain, we said that
Lakes.
already.
Oh.
So where does a lake go to?
The ocean.
Okay, so if we have a lake that goes into an ocean, I'm not sure we
Lakes
do.
are smaller than that.
Do we have lakes that go into oceans? What is a lake?
Lake, pond.
A body of water.
Completely surrounded by,
Land.
so how does it go into the ocean?
There's a stream of water.
Oh, a stream, so it might be a lake that goes into a stream. So the stream, the water moves,
Or a river.
or a river, and the lake it doesn't. So now if I want to make something happen, like I want to set up a water mill, which is just a big wheel that turns,
Oh, a
right?
turbine?
Right, okay, a turbine. I want to set up a water mill. Am I going to put it in a lake, or am I going to put it in a river?
A river.
Why?
Because it has more kinetic energy.
Okay, so I can get it to move by putting it into moving water. Do you understand that, Mr. Crosby's
Water
class?
mill, a lake, is the lake gonna make the water mill go around? So what's gonna make the water mill go around? Or a creek, because what? The water moves and makes it go around, right?
Okay, so let's pretend that we're out in a boat with our oars, and we lose the oars.
You'll still be moving.
Well, what would get us to move?
The water.
Engine.
Okay, so in a lake, are we moving?
No.
No. On a river, are we
Yes.
moving?
Yes.
Yes. In the ocean, are we going to move?
Yes.
Yes.
Bounce mostly.
What about on a waterfall?
Yes. Fall.
Yes.
Where wouldn't we?
And a lake. And a
Where-
pond.
In a pond, in
A
lake,
puddle.
in a puddle. Right, the boat's not going anywhere. What about in your bathtub?
Yes.
No. Because if you have a toy boat.
Yes.
Yeah, how do you get that toy boat to move?
You turn on the water.
Oh.
And it'll be...
So once we get that water moving, we can get that boat moving. So we can use the energy of the water to get the boat to move. Isn't that cool?
How about if the boat is sitting in the middle of the lake and the motor's not working and you don't have any oars, could the boat end up moving anyhow?
Yes.
How?
With the
Because
engine.
of the wind.
Oh, so now we have wind energy.
Wind could blow the boat around. Ah,
And wind could blow the water around,
yeah.
make waves, right?
Yeah.
And push the boat right to the side. Lots of things going on there. So here's what needs to happen. We need to come up with 2 different experiments. One experiment is going to show the potential to kinetic. Okay, that was weird.
That's so cool.
No, not really. Sorry,
How do you
my.
do that?
Right. That happened a couple times yesterday too.
How do you
Yeah,
do
it's
that?
kind of weird. Okay. So my one experiment is going to show this potential water energy moving into kinetic water energy.
I already got
You have an idea for that? Oh,
it. This is so cool. How do you do that?
I'm not doing it. It's just a program that wants to come on.
And then there's a bam.
I know
and then
that.
there's like
And
an
I don't know how to get the
exclamation
program
point.
to stop. So, Mr. Crosby's class, can you think of an experiment where you could show potential energy and then into kinetic energy?
You show water going from potential, like sitting in a lake,
So cool.
kinetic, where it's going down a creek or a river. Nice and loud.
You can have this type of hard little stream that is made of plastic or something, and then you can make this type of ball in it that it can move into the
What can move?
water.
Oh, okay. So you could make like a lake and make an area for the water to come out and go down the you said plastic or whatever.
So what could we get the water to move?
So now the water's going down. What could we do to show transformation of power where it makes something else? What could we do? Well, the water's moving down the creek now.
Do you
Now,
all
how could
remember?
that water move
Wait, to
down?
make potential energy go into kinetic?
Well, we made the potential go into kinetic by having a bucket, sort of, a tray of water with a hole in it. So the water in the tray is,
Going down.
When the water's going down,
Oh, I was thinking of just getting a glass and putting it
what
under
could
that.
it make?
what could we have it move when it hits the bottom?
Yeah,
Oh,
but
trash can.
we're gonna get
You
energy.
could move a trash can?
Oh. Wait, what was the question?
What could we put there that could move?
A treadmill? No.
We
A
could.
boat?
A
We could
turbine.
put a little boat.
A turbine.
You can make a little boat. You
A
can make a
windmill,
little
windmill.
water.
Or we could
How about
go
a
to
water mill?
I said turbine.
But if it's a windmill, what's moving it?
The wind.
Right.
I
We want a
said-
water mill or a turbine,
Yeah, turbine.
which is wind, which is water. So we could definitely do that. So what we need to do is come up with 2 different experiments. One that just goes from potential to kinetic energy, and one that shows that energy transferring. So if we move a turbine, what could we get that turbine to move?
Water?
No, the water moves the turbine.
Yeah.
What could the turbine then do?
Uh,
Could you get it to light a light bulb?
Yes.
How?
Because it's energy.
Right,
And
so
then-
how would you do that?
It would hit like this a button, and then the power
So
from
it,
the button.
it would hit a switch,
Yeah.
and when the switch is turned on, the light bulb turns on?
Yeah.
Hi.
I.
Right, sorry, we got sidetracked here for a second.
So what we were just talking about here is that turbine, that water mill could turn a switch on, which would light a light bulb.
Okay, so the water's running down and we get it to spin a water mill, right? Make it go around. Okay, now how could that be turned into electricity? It would have to be there.
So what does the switch have to be attached to?
A wire?
Which is attached to,
An outlet.
Another wire?
no, not an outlet.
The wire's attached to another wire?
What do you need to create there in order
I
to?
used to have a light on my bicycle where
A battery.
didn't have a battery in it. You pushed it in up against the tire, and the tire made this little gear on top spin around, and then the light would turn on. How come?
Wow, I don't even know.
So the light was on a generator, and when you pushed the generator up against your tire, it made the generator spin around, and that made what?
Energy for the light bulb to come on.
Right. So I wonder if we could find one of those bulbs that's on a generator, like a bicycle light bulb.
Oh, I think I can.
You think so?
Yeah.
So what we need to decide now is which group is going to do. I think that since, what was your name again, the girl on the side here?
Priya.
Priya. I think since you had that great idea for going from potential to kinetic energy, that you can create that experiment. And we'll create the experiment of lighting the switch and transferring it to electrical energy.
Water, and then it's going to go down like a river.
So
Something like that.
what you all need to do, and you need to do this by next week, is you need to write up an experiment that can be duplicated. Because you're going to write an experiment about the transformation of energy, and they're going to do it. And they're going to write an experiment about potential to kinetic energy, and you're going to do it.
Right?
So you have to write the experiment that the other group can do.
So you guys are going to come up with that experiment, and you're going to write down all the directions. What do you need to make it happen? And all of that. And you're going to do that here, but you have to write it up so these guys can do it in their classroom. Then they're going to come up with an experiment that's going to change the water moving into electrical power somehow, and they're going to write the directions for that, and you're going to have to do that here. You understand? Okay, cool. Very good.
Okay, so we understand what we're doing. Could you put that in the doc so we know?
And call.
Good.
Bye.
Bye.
And call. Sign out. We sign